Shout out to Ian Bagley. Bagley states, Karl-Anthony Towns said, it is what it is to most questions about his sprained thumb and bone chip. But he did acknowledge that the injury has impacted his perimeter shooting. Towns is 1 for 9 from 3 since coming back from the injury. Now, I've said this for actually a while now. When I saw Karl-Anthony Towns return that first game and I saw him shoot, I knew it was going to be a bad night. I knew he didn't have it. He looked like he was in pain, almost immediately grabbed it. Didn't look right. Now, the next game after, when he was shooting, he was grimacing again. But this time around, he wasn't really shooting as many threes. He was driving a lot, trying to get contact, trying to go inside, trying to shoot easier mid-ranges. That's what he was trying to do. Now, if he was open for 3 and nobody was near him, he would take the 3. Because if he has a little bit of space and he's open, he's still Karl-Anthony Towns. He's still going to shoot the 3 ball, and he's likely going to make it in. But when he has a player on him and defending him, and he's trying to shoot that 3, it creates a lot of ball pressure. And that ball pressure likely puts a lot of strain on that thumb because he has to hold it for longer, has to put pressure on holding it, has to make a decision on if he's going to shoot it, pass it, whatever's going to happen. It's not as quick as getting the ball and thinking, okay, I'm going to shoot it now, like a catch and shoot, not holding it for that long. So it's easier for Towns to do that. But he doesn't get that many opportunities to do that. Why should he? He's Karl-Anthony Towns. A lot of teams are not going to leave him open. However, that is quite the admission there. The entire time, last couple of days, when you ask Karl-Anthony Towns about the thumb, it is what it is. It is what it is. Smiles. It is what it is. Didn't say anything about his shot, his shooting, what's happening, anything like that. But you know what? Now he's saying his shooting is becoming affected because of the injury. I anticipated that. He has a bone chip in his thumb, along with a sprain. It hurts. It's probably uncomfortable. It probably gets inflamed a lot. An inflamed thumb will hurt your entire hand. It'll be in pain. You will not be able to move it comfortably, which means you will not be able to shoot comfortably. So other things you might be able to do is drive and take contact, because when you're driving, it's not really about the shooting as much as it is about taking contact, getting to the line, and getting an easier bucket because you're closer to the rim. We got to remember, that's likely what Karl-Anthony Towns is trying to do now because he doesn't really have the ability to do anything else with that injury that he's suffering. It's unfortunate for New York, but it's even more unfortunate that the Knicks just can't rest him. I would love the Knicks to rest him, keep him on the bench, and wait till he's fully recovered and healed. But if that's the case, they're going to rest Karl-Anthony Towns for a couple of weeks, and they do not have anybody on this team to rest him for weeks. Towns doesn't want to rest for weeks anyways, and doctors have already cleared him, saying he's day-to-day, not going to need surgery, and then the thumb just needs to have to be checked out each and every day to make sure he's good enough to go for every game they're going to play. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to cause him some level of discomfort. Not going to be easy, but at least he can stay into the game. And maybe that's really what we need. Him staying in the game so that way he's still a presence and does something. But it's a risk. What if he hits that thumb wrong? What if he goes down on that thumb wrong? All of those things are possibilities. That's why here, it's really, do I rest Towns or do I play him? If I rest him, I might lose a lot of games. If I keep him, I might win some games, maybe lose some games, but I might risk more injury to my big man. If it's affecting his shooting, maybe rest him until it's not affecting his shooting. I'm not saying don't play him with the bone chip, but if it's not going to be comfortable for him shooting that 3, and everybody knows that it's going to be uncomfortable for him shooting that 3, then teams are going to start looking for that, trying to aim for that. And when that happens, what is he going to do? Just be more in pain. I don't know. If you're the Knicks right now, you're really in a position where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You play him and he does well, you understand why you do that. And you want to win. You don't play him, you understand why. But if you start losing, the fan base might turn on you. They might turn on you anyways if Towns goes down with an injury. Risk either way. But even though I may want Towns to rest, maybe you guys may want Towns to rest as well too, that's not going to happen. He has way too much pride. He understands what playing means for this city. and he knows that him playing gives the Knicks the best chance to win. He is going to continue to play, continue to be day-to-day, and continue to try to be a force for this team so we can continue to win games and hopefully put together another winning streak. We could really use another one of those. We could really also use a lot of rest days. The All-Star break is very, very soon. It's coming up. So Towns will be having the ability to get some rest. Now, he's likely going to play in the All-Star game, but there's some time between then and now. There is also some time after that, and when he plays again, to really rest and recover. So he's going to have the time to really get back to being Karl-Anthony Towns. But if the Knicks can afford it, I would rather him rest. But since it looks like that they can't, and they won't, he's going to be playing. And as he plays, he's going to get hit. David says, who are the teams in on Sims right now, Troy? Very good question. Right now, we don't have the exact teams listed that are going after Jericho Sims. We know the Houston Rockets at some point were interested, but we don't know if they have current interest in him. I don't think that the Knicks would just go around trading him to any team, but I would gather that they're looking to trade him to a Western Conference rival. The reason why is because why would they trade him here? Why would they trade him to an Eastern Conference team? They don't want to see him again. They rather see him as little as possible. So trading him out west makes a lot of sense. So does Houston. Jonas Valanciunas by far seems like the most likely because everything would make sense for that. Think about it like this. They could get Jonas without having to include Precious. So that means you can push Precious to his natural position, which is the power forward, and you're still able to use the backup presence that you get by making that deal for Jonas. So the Knicks could do that, but it's all about the faith they have in Mitchell Robinson. Do they think Robinson's going to come back and perform at a high level, or is he just going to fizzle out? Important to look at. The angry casual fan says, Sim's going to average a double-double somewhere. Where? You have to score to do that. He doesn't score. Doesn't even shoot. Where is he going to average a double-double? You have to also have an impact out there. You have to know what you're doing. He gets lost a lot. He looks like a lot of times he has no idea what set they're running. I don't know how you're going to see time. Nick 100 says, why do we always win without Mitch if he's so important? My goodness. My goodness. You see the value of Mitchell Robinson if he's here on this team. You know what he can do. You know what he can provide. But I think the Prince makes a very good point. Can you trust it? Will it be available? And if it's not available, then we're talking about somebody sitting on the bench doing nothing for you. Are we really trying to cap for somebody doing nothing? We got to make sure we understand. Yeah, we want more size. We want more ability. We want more defense. But we also have to understand who we're talking about. Are we going to be able to get that level of defense or that level of play for Mitchell Robinson consistently? I don't believe that's the case. If you enjoyed these clips from the live show, be sure to subscribe to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new episodes or when we go live. Thanks for watching, Knicks fans, and until next time, peace.